Walk into a typical market in Iran today, and you will see stalls overflowing with fresh produce, vibrant vegetables, and stacks of everyday staples. There is no physical shortage of food within the country's borders. But this infographic reveals the broken math. A single egg costs 200,000 rials. A basic kebab is 6 million. Experts call this the modern drought. Resources remain on shelves, but average purchasing power has turned to dust. This paints a stark contrast to the image Iran projects to the rest of the world. On the global stage, the state maintains a defiant, highly armed military posture, pouring resources into regional conflicts and standing toe-to-toe with Western powers. Yet beneath that heavy armor, the domestic core of the nation is collapsing. The state is projecting immense strength outward, while its own citizens are losing the ability to afford their daily survival. This chart tracks the velocity of Iran's current hyperinflation across essential survival categories. Food prices have shot up 112%. Basic cooking oil is up over 200%. Even the cost of burying the dead has spiked by 40%. The immediate driver of this crisis is the absolute freefall of the national currency. At current exchange rates, it takes roughly 1.6 million Iranian rials to purchase a single US dollar. That currency collapse is translating into severe human casualties. Since the recent escalation of regional conflict, an estimated 1 to 3 million Iranians have lost their jobs, leaving over 15 million citizens trying to survive with absolutely no steady income. The government safety nets designed to catch them have already broken under the pressure. State-issued food vouchers and monthly subsidies are now so intensely devalued that they don't even cover the cost of a standard 10-kilo bag of rice. For most working-class families, the exhaustion of life savings has reached a threshold where a full day's labor can no longer secure a single meal. Because no one can afford to buy anything, the entire commercial sector is crashing down. Restaurants and small businesses are losing their customer base overnight, forcing them to permanently shutter their doors. This creates a brutal financial trap. Citizens are bouncing checks, banks are aggressively closing accounts, and instead of offering wartime tax relief to struggling business owners, the government is actively hitting them with heavy financial penalties for delayed loan payments. To see how this micro-level poverty scales up to macro-level paralysis, we just have to look at the Tehran Stock Exchange. For the first time in history, the market flatlined, closing for 8 consecutive weeks as industries took massive hits. Experts now warn the country could face inflation reaching 500%. The total seizure of the internal economic engine has turned a diplomatic resolution with the West into a strict requirement for national survival. That necessary off-ramp was supposed to materialize here, during high-stakes peace talks hosted in Islamabad, Pakistan. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi arrived early, holding late-night negotiations with Pakistani leadership to dissect the latest proposals sent by the United States. He outlined his government's deep concerns regarding the American terms. And then, before the U.S. delegation even landed in Pakistan, Araghchi abruptly abandoned the summit and boarded a flight to Oman. The American response was immediate. President Trump entirely canceled his delegation's 18-hour flight, dismissing the negotiation attempt and publicly stating that if Iran needed them, they could call. With the table empty, Tehran immediately pivoted back to hostility. Iranian officials issued direct warnings, threatening to repeat the humiliating American military failure of the 1980 Operation Eagle Claw if tensions escalated further. Pakistani Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif and local officials maintain that peace efforts will continue and that talks might resume. But right now, there is no active mechanism to relieve the crushing financial pressure back home. The diplomats walk away to protect their geopolitical leverage, and back in Tehran, 15 million people are left trapped, starving in the aisles of a fully stocked supermarket.